Mortal Kombat 1 has been officially revealed, and I am very excited, but also I'm a little bit worried, and here's why. Here's a backstory. So you might be wondering what my concern is, and the short answer is that for me, my biggest fear for Mortal Kombat 1 is Mortal Kombat 11.
What?
Here's why. Here is my Mortal Kombat tier list. Okay, not actually. But Mortal Kombat X, in my opinion, is the greatest Mortal Kombat to ever exist in existence, and is my personal standard for Mortal Kombat games going forward as of right now. Then Mortal Kombat 11 came out. And before I say anything, I do want to list the positives about MK11. I want to say some nice things. For starters, the rosters is a definite wow factor. I mean, they have a great mix of classic and lesser seen characters in there. The story was a ton of fun, seeing the characters collide in a literal race against time. The map section completely like doubles MKX's maps. Guys, they have a mercy option. You can actually show mercy. I don't know if this was ever in a Mortal Kombat game before, but seriously, this should just be in all of them. And we saw the return of friendships. I mean, come on. And the guest characters. I mean, what? I never thought I would see Terminator or RoboCop in a Mortal Kombat game. And the big one for me is the crypt. I'm gonna just say that all the crypts going forward need to be like this. I mean, it's literally like an open world. It's like a whole nother game. MK11 did have some really cool things about it, honestly. And honestly, for what it's supposed to be, it's a great Mortal Kombat game. But let's be honest, compared to Mortal Kombat X though, it's garbage. MK11 is trash. And I really hope that Mortal Kombat 1 is nothing like Mortal Kombat 11. I have absolutely no idea how in the world you make an amazing fighting game like MKX and somehow make the sequel to that worse than the last game in almost every single way imaginable. Just remember, this is my opinion. What made MKX so great to me was that it looks and feels like a Mortal Kombat game. The fact that it was so fast paced made it a whole lot more fun to play for me, and I feel like the way it looks just shouts Mortal Kombat. And the variation system offered an extra sense of variety that gave you an incentive to want to come back and learn more things. Not saying MK11 didn't have that, because it absolutely does, but MKX just seemed like it was how Mortal Kombat should be. Then MK11 came out and completely shits all over that. For starters, it doesn't even look like Mortal Kombat.
Boy, you look like a...
It looks like Injustice with a Mortal Kombat skin slapped on top of it. I mean, it's not exactly like Injustice, but the pacing and the gameplay does not help that at all in the slightest. It's like they were trying to make it like Injustice. Bigger maps and a slower fighting pace. All it does is make me miss MKX. MKX had a close quarters high speed gameplay to it that MK11 failed to match. And although the custom variation system was a nice attempt at something new, all those different options doesn't make up for the fact that each character seems like they have one bread and butter combo apiece, and that's all they got going for them. Meaning people are just gonna pick the same kind of variation that makes that one good combo. MKX variations each brought a whole new playstyle to the table, and made it seem like its own character. I mean, like literally a whole different character in one variation. Look at Triborg, it's literally like 3 different characters. And it kind of sucks that they put the Terminator and RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 11, because imagine playing with Terminator like this. But instead we got this. The outfits in MKX, although there were not many, were so unique in their own way and so different from one another. I would prefer if they kept it like this. MK11 has like 100 outfits per character, sure, but it's not that cool anymore once you realize that it's really like 4 different outfits, and the other outfits are literally a copy and paste of each other with a different color scheme. Looking back at it, the customization on MK11 is actually really impressive. Not just the outfits, but the custom intros and outros, the gear, all of it is actually really good, so never mind that piece. But what is true is that the outfits in MKX, since there were fewer of them and they were more exotic, they were much more rewarding to get. I will say that. Also, please never bring back crushing blows, fatal blows, and especially breakaway. In MK11, I feel like big damage combos are overly reliant on crushing blows. Not all of them, but a big piece of them, especially since it's hard to come up with any other combo and then the bread and butter combo. Breakaway is stupid. What is the point of breakaway when the opponent can literally armor break my escape from a combo and get more damage because of it? Also, just imagine you hit a crushing blow in a match and you think you're gonna get a combo going, but it just gets shat on due to a breakaway, and then the whole combo's just gone. Just imagine that for a second. And the meter system in MKX just felt like you had more freedom with it. X-rays need to come back. That's all I'm saying about that. And breakers. Please, breakers. It just stops the entire combo. No questions asked. And I don't like how the fatal blow is like a panic button that can change the course of the game just because you're getting your butt whooped. But it's honestly not that bad. I just don't like that it's like a one-time thing a lot as well. And I know that Ed Boon has this thing where he likes to spread out features of the games. You know, he likes to not use stuff very often throughout the games. So hopefully he had all the fun he wanted with the crushing blows and stuff with MK11, so they won't be back anytime soon, hopefully. And it's kind of like reverse psychology with the ninjas. I'm personally glad that he didn't use the ninjas like Ermac and Reptile and MK11, so he can skip that one and they have a higher possibility of being in a potentially better game that is Mortal Kombat 1. And you're probably wondering what any of this has to do with Mortal Kombat 1. Well, my fear is that MK1 will be anything like MK11. MK11 has been the most recent Mortal Kombat for 4 years now, and I still prefer to play MKX over MK11. Because for me, they failed to make the sequel better than the last game. For me, they failed to capture the same oomph that made MKX what it is. And I'm just scared of the possibility that MK1 could be in the same boat. Like, just imagine MK1 comes out after this long wait for another Mortal Kombat game, and I still want to return to Mortal Kombat X for a pleasant MK experience. And I know that I'm just judging based off of one CGI trailer and a web page, but what I've seen is pretty big. It's a little thing called cameo fighters. First of all, I have no idea what in the world people be thinking when they come up with this kind of stuff. I feel like every character with a literal speaking rule in a Mortal Kombat game should be playable, but check this out. So you will have a base roster of characters, plus a separate roster of characters that could assist you in combat, which is pretty much confirmed to be non-playable characters considering different versions of the game come with extra cameo fighters. Why in the world would you have a roster of characters in a Mortal Kombat game that you cannot play? Where is the sense in that? And watch that roster be almost completely full of characters that you'd want to play more than the base roster. This kind of stuff is what has me concerned. Already something having me question if I'm gonna resort back to Mortal Kombat X, and I just don't understand the logic. Make all characters playable, please. And this, combined with the fear that it'll have an MK11 playstyle, which is like a lot slower and not as fun, let's just face it, just has me worrying, man. And since we're on the topic of MK1, this is separate, but this is just an issue that I have with MK1. They honestly should have just called it MK12. I mean, we literally just saw Ed Boon in one of those live stream talks say that it's not a continuation of the last game.
And it is not a continuation of the Mortal Kombat 11 story.
But if you're gonna reset the storyline completely, then reset it completely. Because for the past 30 years, they have been telling this story with Liu Kang, Raiden, Shang Tsung, and all of them, right? But imagine resetting the timeline for the exact same villain to be the antagonist again. Liu, have you learned anything, man, from your past 30 years being in Mortal Kombat? They need to create like a whole new roster, dang near. Still have the classics like Johnny Cage, you know, all of them. Like, keep them a part of it for sure. I have no problem with them being in it, but they need like basically a new set of heroes and villains for the games to be off of. Because after 30 years of a story with these already established characters, even though they are like switching up what happened with who and like who's friends and who's enemies and whatnot, it's hard to get into a story with these characters when we have already seen an extensive story play out with them. You know what I mean? Like, we've already seen the story play out with them, so it's hard to be excited for this new story because we need something fresh. You know, it's hard to get into that, you know. But that's just judging from a story standpoint. At the end of the day, it's just a fighting game, and that's what it was intended to be. And it's cool to have another entry in the series for something fresh to play. And that's really all I gotta say about my fears for MK1. Like I said, all we have is a CGI trailer, which isn't actual gameplay. But in a nutshell, I'm just worried that MK1 is gonna take after MK11 and not be a satisfying Mortal Kombat game. For me, it might be a great game to like 90% of other people. And I think it'll be a great game too, without a doubt. It's supposed to be a Mortal Kombat game, it's gonna be a Mortal Kombat game. And I'm not saying it won't be a great game. I feel strongly that it'll be a great game. I'm afraid it won't be as satisfying as Mortal Kombat X. And seeing the cameo fighters is what really sparked this fear. Because I really hope that it's not gonna be like the foundation of MK1. I hope that it's still built upon classic 1v1s, you know? I hope that it's not like the base game mode, like tag team or this like custom combat sort of thing that we see when like people just kind of throw in stuff during the match, like in the gauntlet. Hopefully this cameo fighter stuff is just like a side thing that they are just highlighting because it's something new. Because even if you are able to extend combos and such with them, the damage scaling is probably going to be on some MKX, Cyrex levels. When you do like this 30-second combo for like 25% or some stuff. But I'm going to keep high hopes for MK1 because it seems like it'll be a really cool game and a lot of fun. I have a good feeling about it, and the story seems like it's going to be very interesting as well. Talk about an immersive story or something like that. I have a good, maybe it'll be open world, I don't know. But feel free to leave a comment on what you think about MK1 and what you thought of this video. And thank you all for watching, and you all have a blessed day. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.
And put you on the spot here. Can I get you as a guest on one of the shows?
No.